Today, I'm going to go through the 4 different types of employer-sponsored visas in Australia. Hi, this is Nicholas Yock, a registered migration agent from Pathway to Oz. The first one, most obvious, 482 Skills in Demand visa. This visa is done in 3 steps. It's the most common employer-sponsored visa to Australia. Sponsorship, nomination, visa application. Okay, so the company does the sponsorship and the nomination. You do the visa application. Now for this, your occupation must be on the core skills list. The benefit of this visa is that it can progress to PR after 2 years as long as you're under 45. The intention of this visa is to fill a skill gap in Australia. So basically your employer needs to give you an employment offer and say, we're gonna pay you a minimum of 76,515 plus superannuation, or the minimum sort of salary that an Australian would get in the role. The next visa I want to talk about is the cousin to the 482, the Permanent 186 employer nominated, all right? So this is the permanent employer sponsored visa, and you actually might be able to apply for it straight away, okay? So there's 2 streams. One's if you're on the 482 for 2 years, called the transitional. The other one is if you have an occupation on the core skills list, have 3 years of full-time work experience and a skill assessment, you might be able to apply directly for the permanent visa 186 direct entry stream. Now with this visa, there's 2 steps: nomination done by the company, visa application done by you, the applicant, and once again, the minimum salary is $76,515, or the Australian market salary if that is higher. So the next one is one which has become increasingly common lately, the 407 training visa. So the intention of this visa is to allow you to enhance your skills through on-the-job training. The training can be paid, or usually is paid, and you must be offered a minimum of 30 hours a week. However, there is no minimum salary requirement. So they don't need to pay you $76,515. They can pay you 30 bucks an hour or whatever it is. Now, it's a lot cheaper than the 482, probably a third of the price, and employers love it because they don't need to pay you as much. The negative is after 2 years on this 407, you don't progress to PR through the 186. It still is done in 3 steps: sponsorship, nomination, and visa application. The next visa, and the visa you might not be aware of, is the subclass 400 temporary work short stay. Now this visa is the quickest, the cheapest, and is only done in 1 step, but it is only allowable under very specific circumstances. It is essentially available to highly skilled individuals to fill non-ongoing work in Australia. So for example, we had a company which builds big theme park rides in Australia. They needed to get someone out for a period of up to 6 months, someone from overseas because they couldn't source the skills in Australia. It's a very specific work, a very specific time frame. They came out, they did their work, they went back home. A lot of engineers come out, surveyors for big construction projects where it's very short, very non-ongoing work. So it's one specific big project you need to come out for and then go home. Maximum of 6 months. However, after the 6 months, the employer may be able to apply for a 482 for you if needed. And essentially what it is there's only 1 step. You apply for the visa, you still need a whole bunch of different documentation with it, but for very specific and very limited circumstances. I hope you found this information helpful. If you are looking to apply for an employer-sponsored visa or any other visa to Australia, feel free to contact Pathway to Oz.